Alright, good day, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and tap that notification bell if you're interested in the content on this page. So, let me tell y'all, I was just having a thought. I was outside today in the garden, and I was having this thought about when I used to hear like knocking, slamming doors, all kinds of stuff, right? And so, this was before like I became more evolved in my gifts and all of that different jazz, right? So I remember in 2007, I was stationed in Germany, in freaking Baumholder, Germany. So on the rock, really wasn't much to do out there, but it was one of those weekends, And so I heard like knocking and door slamming. So I went out into the hallway phone and I called down to the staff duty desk or the CQ desk. And the what CQ is like the people that, make sure the building is secure and do all the security checks, make sure ain't people that's not supposed to be in the building aren't in the building. So they like the quarters in charge at that time. So called down there and I told them, hey, tell them soldiers stop slamming doors and knocking on doors. And they was like, sorry, we're nobody knocking on no doors or slamming on doors. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I know I heard some slamming. I went back to sleep. It was like 2, maybe 3 a.m. And I never thought anything spiritual at that time when it came to that. There were times where I would see things like in my dreams or have nightmares and things like that. Then I realized that, oh well, not everybody dreams. So, but as time went on, I never tied it to spirituality. That's the thing. And here's the fun, interesting thing. I was always pretty spiritual for the most part, but I never tied it to anything else because what I knew about spirituality up to that point, that at that time was irrelevant, right? And then I remember me and my husband was living in this one house. It was like a house, but it was like a little gym. It was like a teeny tiny house, but on the inside, it was like very comfortable, bright, and extravagant to me at the time, right? I mean, it's still a pretty nice house. Like if we went by there today, whoever living in the house is probably like, dang, I lucked up because this is like the best house. And the house was on like, at that time, this was in like 2015. And the house was like, I don't know, it was just bright and beautiful. And it just was the best place to be, to get that nice, beautiful daily sunshine that I love so much, right? And so one night we were sleeping and the kids was in their room sleeping. I'll never forget it. And we heard the door slam and we heard knocking. It was like a big slam and knocking. And the knocking is what woke us up all the way. Like we heard the slam and we kind of opened our eyes and went back to sleep. But then when we heard that knocking, we looked at each other like, oh, holy crap. So we jumped up and ran to go check on the kids. Now, mind you, us going to go run and check on the kids are knocked out. Like at the time we only had 2. So the kids were knocked out. And then we went into the kitchen. The light was on in the kitchen. We know we had turned that light off. So it was like some paranormal stuff going on in that house, right? But again, at that point that we was in our spiritual journey, we was only on it didn't register at that time, guys. And so now I'm sitting here and I'm like, holy crap. That slamming of the doors and that knocking was, the other realms trying to get our attention. Our spirit team, our spiritual guides, maybe our ancestors was trying to get our attention at that time for something very important. Because each point in our life, when I heard that, I know for a fact I moved. Like when I was in Germany, I ended up I was supposed to go to Fort Stewart, Georgia, and I didn't even want to go to be a dog-faced soldier because that's what you would be down there. So I didn't even want to go to Fort Stewart. And I ended up getting orders to go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, which I was very elated about that because it was a beautiful state, just really pretty, So I was very excited about that. So I ended up moving to that area. And when I moved to that area, y'all, I missed my husband by like the month that I got there was the month that he left there, right? So it was like it was almost like I was supposed to meet him, but because I was like a month late, I didn't meet him, but we ended up meeting anyway, right? So it was just very interesting. And that was in 2007. So it was just very interesting at that point. And then when we were living in that house that I was telling y'all about, we ended up moving to a better house. And that was the house that I previewed in my video like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. The house that I had when we was stationed at Fort Jackson for the last little bit of the time in the military. But so I said all that to say that if you're hearing knocking and door slamming, it's not nothing negative. I think evil and negativity is based off of the perspective of the individual, right? And so it's not nothing evil, it's not nothing bad. It's like something something trying to get your attention, something trying to awaken you in some respect, you know what I mean? So don't be listening to whatever you hear about other people's superstition, or they're saying like, oh, this is negative, this is evil. It's not evil, you know, because every time I heard knocking or door slamming, or we heard knocking and door slamming, that was a point of elevation. So maybe you are at a point of elevation in your life that you don't even realize you're at, you know, and maybe you're not even putting into context like that. You're probably not even thinking anything spiritual. You're probably looking at this video right now like, yo, what the heck did I click on? You know, I was not thinking about anything spiritual. What is she talking about? Awakening, blah, 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 blah. Because that's probably not where you're at in your life. But there's something that they want to get your attention on, and something that they, something that they want to highlight in your life, you know, and something that they need you to pay close attention to. All right, and you'll be surprised. You might have said something that you wanted to come into fruition, and that knock is one of those indicators like think, or, you know, that slam is like, hey, you said you want this to happen. In order for this to happen, you need to get up and pay attention to this right now, or pay attention to something right now. Because we couldn't even go right back to sleep after that. After that, we started investigating, right? We started investigating stuff, and we still didn't put 2 and 2 together, you know. It wasn't until later in our lives that we began to put that together. And the reason why I came on the platform today to talk about it, because we were just talking about like, yo, you remember when we was hearing those knocks and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's why we was hearing them. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Don't look at knocking and door slamming, anything dealing with doors, because think about a door for a second, right? A door is an opening. A door allows you to gain access to something, right? So when you're looking at it from that perspective, what are you about to walk into? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking at it from that perspective, door allows access. All right, so you are about to access something in your life and you don't even know it. All right, so that's pretty much it. Just pray for the access, meditate on the access. You know, get in contact with your spirit team and ask them for assistance to guiding you to get to the door of access. All right, but that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this message. I know it was quick, brief, but I'll holler at y'all.